BetMGM has a market about the highest and lowest scoring teams this season. So this is an index market, meaning it's a futures market, and you can bet on one team to go ahead and be the most regular season points scored. You can bet on multiple teams, but just, it's kind of like a futures market. That's how it operates. But the favorite in this market for the most regular season points scored, courtesy of BetMGM, is the Kansas City Chiefs at plus 450. Eagles are at 6-1. Bengals plus 750. Bills 9-1. Cowboys 12-1. Lions, Niners are at 14-1. Chargers 16-1. Jags, Vikings 18-1. Dolphins, Jets, Seahawks 20-1. Ravens 25-1. Any interest for you?
Well, I mean, obviously Philly has interest because they can score, and Philly has this mentality to score quickly. 207 points in the second quarter. To me, that's something that they don't stop. Their 4-minute offense isn't to protect the football. Their 4 minutes offense lends itself to scoring. And the same thing with the Lions, I think, too, at 14-1, because the Lions, I think what you want to do if you're playing this market is you want a team that is good, is great offensively, but has to keep scoring because their defense isn't great, right? They got to keep it going like that, and I think that's the Lions, right? The 49ers, when they go up by 10 in the fourth quarter, I don't think you're beating them.
No.
I think they're going to close that game out. So I think you got to be really careful here about, the one thing about the Chiefs, you can get back in the game. Remember the Denver game last year where they go up 21-0 and all of a sudden the Broncos come storming back? There's moments where there's laxity within the Chiefs off defense, which creates then the Chiefs have to score more points. So I know this sounds counterintuitive, but you want to play a team that's really good offensively, that's very marginal defensively. And that, to me, is the Lions. The Eagles are not marginally defensively. They just keep trying to score. They just keep trying to score. Whereas like the Jaguars at 18-1, they're going to keep scoring. I don't know how great their defense is.
That's the one that stood out to me was Jacksonville at 18-1 because I think Jacksonville and Detroit are in the same category of teams that offensively there's a lot to like and to be excited about, but defensively there are major question marks. So they're going to need to continue to score. And also Jacksonville, and you can argue this for Detroit as well, the divisions aren't as difficult. So maybe you can put up a lot of points there in some of these shootout kind of performances. Those would be the teams that I would bet on. If somebody said, hey, here's $100, I'd take it and put on Jacksonville at 18-1 to go ahead and lead the league in points scored. Because I think that they might have to if they want to fulfill some of those expectations of winning 10, 11 games and winning the AFC South once again. So Jacksonville is who I like. I mean, I could see the argument for Philadelphia definitely because the Eagles are just so overwhelming with that offensive line. It feels like they're in advantageous situations all the times, but I think Jacksonville is where I'd go just from a value standpoint. And I guess value is an overused word. I don't even want to use that word. I retract value. But just from a long shot standpoint, 18-1.
Like Dallas at 12-1. I think Dallas wants to slow the game down a little bit.
Yep.
I think their defense is too good. And if they get up by 10 in the fourth quarter, I don't think Dallas is going to be explosive offensively. I think they're going to try to get into their 2-minute. Same thing with Miami. I mean, I'm telling you, if Miami has a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter and the run game guru, Mike McDaniels, is throwing it around the lot, Vic's going to come down and going to have a confrontation with them. I mean, there's just no doubt. I'm predicting that right now here on August 21st. I mean, they're going to be blood spilled. There's no way he's going to tolerate that. They're going to either get to gear or they're going to get out, Yeah,
is it going to be like what, Kevin McBride and Buddy Ryan back in the day on the sidelines when they were getting after it for the Houston Oilers coaching side?
Well, I mean, look, one thing about Vic understands how to win a game, and you can't win a game. There's times you got to take the air out of the ball a little bit and slow the game down, and understand how to do that. Not run. It's slow the game down.
How about the fewest regular season points scored this upcoming season? The Cardinals are the favorites at plus 650. Buccaneers 9-1. Packers, Texans, Colts, Titans at 11-1. Commanders 12-1. Panthers and Rams and the Patriots are at 14-1. Steelers 18-1. Falcons, Bears, Browns at 20-1.
I don't know how the Cardinals are going to score. I really don't. I mean, they don't have a big playmaker. I mean, James Conner can still run the ball. He looked good the other night running, but can they score? And here's the thing. They're going to get behind, so they will score a little bit more because if they have to play catch up, what happens then. But to me, I don't know where they're going. I think the Bucs are going to be in a lot of close games because their defense is going to have to keep them in close games. I don't see it with the Packers. That's just because I think everybody's unsure about the quarterback.
Yep.
The Packers, the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans. The Titans, who's going to play quarterback for them? Tannehill is, for sure. And they slow the game down enough to where they don't mind winning 17-14. So I like the Cardinals here. On a long shot, I don't see, maybe you'd say the Panthers just based on the way they played this summer.
Yeah, the offensive line for the Panthers makes that 14-1 look a little juicy. For me, though, I think I'd take a shot with the Rams. If things start slow and they go off the rails and Stafford gets beat up and is not able to play in games, maybe they get to the trade deadline and say, all right, guys, let's just pack up shop. This is not our year. Let's start the rebuild in full. Maybe the Rams are kind of like a dark horse team at 14-1 to have the fewest regular season. I know McVay is a great offensive mind, and I don't want to disrespect him, but the Rams are intriguing.
Look, let's face it. If Stafford gets hurt and they're to Stetson Bennett, they're not going to score a lot of points. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Yeah. You weren't impressed with Stetson Bennett the other night?
It's not that I'm not impressed. I don't want to judge him too early, but it's going to be hard for him to come in there behind a bad offensive line. And if Cooper Kupp, Kupp had the great year 2 years ago, but all the other years, Kupp's been about 10 yards a catch.
Yeah.
That 1 year sticks out to you because it was an anomaly. But is he going to put the ball in the end zone like he did that year? That was the one sensational year.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.